Hey guys, it's Kaya and welcome to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be doing a mood read with me for a week / how many pages do I realistically read in a week. So I've been scrolling through my Kindle Unlimited looking for a book to read, and I think I found which one I wanted. I was kind of originally wanting to read like a mystery or a thriller because I just read a fantasy and then 2 romances back to back, and I really want to read the second book to 1,000 Boy Kisses. Is that what it's called? I think it's called 1,000 Boy Kisses. But I have to read at work tomorrow because I'm probably gonna have a long break and I just can't be sobbing at work, so I'm gonna read something else first. So I decided on Mile High by Liz Tom Ford, and I've heard not so great things about the first book in the Windy City series, but I've heard really good things about the second, third, and fourth, so I'm gonna try and start with the first one. If I really don't like it, I'll just DNF it and move on to the second one like I've heard some people do, but I'll give it a shot. I feel like my Kindle's been being neglected lately, which is why I tried to choose a book that is on Kindle Unlimited so I can read it. And so that also means if I don't like it and I DNF it, I won't feel so bad because it's free. I'm actually not going to start this till tomorrow though, so I'll start counting pages tomorrow because it's already midnight and I do have to work tomorrow. I just wanted to start this video. Okay, short check-in here because I'm only 13% into Mile High, and I see what everyone is saying about how just obnoxious, what is even his name? Xanders is. It's like I can see how he's just like not a likable character, but they're also like hinting at little plot points that I feel like is gonna make his character maybe redeemable, like his family relationships and trauma, childhood trauma, so I don't know, we'll see. As of right now, I'm agreeing with everyone. Don't like him. Don't know if he will be a redeemable male main character. But also Stevie's not that much better. I don't know if I really like her as a female main character either, so maybe they'll be perfect for each other. I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. Okay, it's the next day. So yesterday I got to page 74. So I read 74 pages total on Saturday. About 20% through right now. So my thoughts are kind of still the same as the last check-in. I still don't really like Xanders or Stevie, so I don't hate them like I've heard some people say, but I don't think that they're my favorite characters I've ever read about. I am growing on Xanders a little bit more though, just seeing his relationship with Logan and Madison and their baby. I forget her name. And I know obviously she's not going to make the main characters insufferable for the whole book, so I know it's going to get better, so I'm just going to keep reading it, but I do want to start another book. I kind of want to start like a mystery or a thriller. I know at the beginning of this I was like, oh, I want to read a romance because it's summer, but I don't know. I'm in the mood for it now, so we'll see. It's Monday now. I finished Mile High last night, so I ended up reading 401 pages yesterday because I just finished the book. And you know what? I really liked it. The characters really grew on me, and after finding out more about their backstory, like I knew we would anyways, but they actually really grew on me. I actually really love Xanders. Like I actually think he's a really good character, and I know he started off as like the worst, but he's really a softie. And you know what? Something that I do love is when the guy is like only nice to her. And I know some people don't like that, but I do. And also he ended up being a softie anyway, so it's like, and something that I did like that I also heard happens in like other books in this series is like when they're just like so attentive to detail. Like he knows that she likes to be comfortable, so he buys her sweatpants instead of like heels. Or like I've heard that in like other books from this author too, that she does like the little attention to detail that I think like makes them like all the more likable, like versus like, oh, they just compliment her and think she's pretty. Like no, it's like the small details that are like, yeah. So anyways, I rated it a 4 stars. I don't think it's quite a 5 star because I've definitely read books that I liked more than this one, but I actually did really enjoy it. I couldn't put it down. Like I was just kept wanting to know what was going to happen and kept wanting to read more about their growth and their romance. And also I really liked the side characters, and I feel like when I like the side characters in a book, it makes it all the more interesting to read, because when I'm only interested in the main plot, then every time there's side plot I'm like trying to skip through it. But in this one I actually really enjoyed reading the side plots and like about the side characters. I really enjoyed reading about his family and her family, and the next book is about her twin brother, so I'm super excited about that because we didn't get to see him too much in it, but I think he's going to be a good character, and I've heard a lot of people's favorite in the series is the second one, so we'll see. Today's Monday, like I mentioned before. I did work for about 9.5 hours, so I didn't get to read too much, but I did start The Naturals today. Got about 97 pages in at work, so that's pretty good for like break and downtime, but I'm gonna keep reading more tonight. So far I'm really enjoying it. I like Jennifer Lynn Barnes' writing. I read the Inheritance Game series and really enjoyed that, so I had high hopes for this one, and I've heard good reviews about it as well. I went into this book not knowing too much about it, just what I had seen on YouTube and TikTok, so I knew the gist of it. Basically there's these kids who have this natural ability to either like read people, read their emotions, detect patterns, whatever it is, and the FBI recruits them to help uncover these cold cases and solve them. In this book we're following Cassie, and she's a natural profiler, and yeah, I don't know much else about it. I was really confused in the beginning. I wish I had updated this, but I was at work. I was so confused because there's chapters that are like it's titled You, and it's like talking to you, like you did this, you think this, and I'm like, why am I in the book? But then I realized that I think it's her profiling one of the people she's trying to solve the case about, which is really interesting, and I really like that concept. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep reading and we'll see. Okay guys, so it's Tuesday now. Yesterday I ended up reading 134 pages, so I didn't read that much after the last time I checked in. And today, now I'm at page 167, so I've read another 30 pages or so today, but I'm gonna read more. But right now, I really like it. I'm like 49% in, so basically halfway done, and I love it. And one thing about Jennifer Lynn Barnes is she loves a good love triangle. I'm noticing. In the Inheritance Games, she had one. In this one, it's seeming to have one. And she loves the one guy's like a little bit more goofy, and one guy's very like stern, like it takes a lot to like break down his walls, and then the one guy's like has the outside like look that he's like super goofy, but like he's truly like deep down like has like all these serious problems and trauma and whatever. And it's like the same type of characters in both, like in both the Inheritance Games and in this one. However, like I love it. I'm eating it up. I love a love triangle. And this one's a bit better because it's not brothers. Although I loved the Inheritance Games, I feel like when it's brothers, I'm like, oh, it's too much. Although Vampire Diaries, oh, I don't know, actually. Maybe I do like brothers, but I like this one as well. I also really like the crime aspect of it, because now that I've figured out that the chapters that are titled You are, I don't know if it's the main character or whoever, trying to solve a case and like get into the head of the unsub or the unknown subject or whatever. I like it a lot, and I think it's really cool, and like I like how there's maybe a hint of some type of romance love triangle going on, as well as like learning about this new world and like the powers they have, and kind of solving crimes. And I feel like the more I get into the books, there'll be like more crimes to solve, I'm hoping, because I really like this aspect of it, because I do like a mystery and thriller, but sometimes the adult ones are a little bit like too much mystery and not enough romance and side plot for me, so I like how this one has both. Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading. Maybe I'll finish it tonight because I really like it, and I don't have work tomorrow, which means I can stay up all night reading. So I'll keep you updated. I just got to part 3, so I'm 57% in now. And if you guys have read this book and you know what part 3 is, it's getting interesting. It's getting so interesting. Like, guys. Guys, I guessed it. I'm 80% through and I guessed it and I knew it. I knew it. Oh my god, I wish I could say what I knew, but I don't want to spoil it, but I knew it. If you know, you know. Okay, so it's Wednesday and I'm back in my car. I feel like every update I've done has been in my car, but I don't know. Anyways, yesterday I read 208 pages. I read 175 from The Naturals, and then I read 33 from Killer Instinct. I just didn't feel like reading anymore after I finished The Naturals. I just wanted to like sit and watch YouTube, so that's what I did. I also just realized when I was looking at the book The Naturals, because I read it on my Kindle, but I was looking at the physical copy, and it has like a present on it. And I'm just realizing now that the cover actually correlates with some part of the story. So now I was looking at all the rest of them. This one has like darts on the front, and then there's like dice and a clock. So I'm like, are these gonna also correlate to the story? Because I wonder what the darts are gonna mean. I love when authors have covers like that where like after the fact you realize that it all made sense. Like the Magnolia Park series is like that for the original covers. That like everything on it makes sense after you've read the book. So I really like that because then it's like a little mystery. Like you get to be like, oh, what's this gonna mean? And then after you're like, you feel like you're in the author's head. You're like, oh, I know why you chose that. I'm only 33 pages in. We just introduced a new character. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen with this new character and if she's gonna kind of grow on me, because right now she's not liked, but she's not meant to be liked right now, I don't think so. We'll see. I'm only 33 pages in. I was also thinking about the little love triangle that's going on, and like I don't know which side I'm on, because this happened with the Inheritance games too. Like I was saying before, how she chooses like the little goofy guy with like underlying trauma, and then the one that like won't let anyone in, but if he lets you in then you're like special. And I just don't know which I like more, because obviously like the goofy guy who like, you know, gets her out of her shell and all that is like so fun, and like I know their relationship would be so cute and fun, but I have something with like the guy who like doesn't let anyone in but you. Like he's mean to everyone but you. Like I like that. So I'm like, who do I want to root for? And I know how it turned out in the Inheritance games, so if you have read that, then you know which one she ended up with. I'm wondering if the same thing's gonna happen with this one. I'll let you know if it's the same. Actually, I don't want to spoil it, so I won't let you know if it's the same, but I'll know if it's the same. So I kept reading. I haven't read that much more, but I just read the description of what Dean looks like, and she was like, his blonde hair fell over his eyes, and I'm like, blonde? What do you mean blonde? No. So no. Whenever I picture someone to look some type of way and then the author describes them looking completely different, I just can't get my initial picture of them out of my mind. Now they can no longer look like what the author described them as, because I already have this idea of them in my head, and like it won't change. So Thursday now. Yesterday I ended up reading 185 pages of Killer Instinct. So that brought me to page 218. So I'm more than halfway through now, and I'm probably gonna finish it tonight. I've already read a bit today as well, and I really like it. I wish that the romance would develop a little bit more, but this is just the same as Inheritance games. I feel like it didn't develop at all until kind of towards the end, and then it was like full blown. So maybe that'll happen in this one. There's still 2 more books after this, but I do really want a bit more romance, and I know that's not what the book is about, but a girl can ask, a girl can dream. I do think this one is getting really interesting, and I have no idea who the killer could be, so that's a good sign, because I was able to guess The Naturals. And I don't think she'll do the same thing as the first book again, so I'm kind of ruling that out, but if she did, I would be shocked. I actually would be mind blown, because I'm not expecting that at all. So we'll see what happens. I don't think it'll be the same as the first book though, so I'm excited to see. I don't know, but I swear every time I read a new chapter, my jaw kind of drops a little bit. I'm like, there's something else. Oh, there's something else. Every time I'm like, these kids can't catch a break. There's something else they're learning. There's new clues. There's new characters. There's always something. And I'm just like, I can't keep up. Well, I can. But like, it's just crazy. And everything is so calculated. And that's what I like about Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So she has these riddles and these clues, and everything is so calculated throughout the whole thing. When you get to the end, you're like, oh my god, like it all makes sense now. And it's just like, I love books like that when it all clicks into place and you can relive what you read and be like, oh my god, complete, like, yes. So that's what I'm feeling in this one. That's what I felt in the first one. So it's Friday night. On Thursday, I ended up reading only 18 pages. I did not get a lot done. I worked for like 11 hours, and then I had to pack because I am on a trip right now. Actually, I left today, so I had to pack on Thursday, and I just didn't have time to read. So I only read 18 pages. But today I ended up reading 139 pages and I did end up finishing Killer Instinct. So that's going to be it for this week. I think that's good. That's 3 books this week. I think that's a lot. Here's my thoughts on Killer Instinct. I really liked it. I still think this is like a 4-star for me, same as the first book, The Naturals. I really liked how this one was very different than the first one. I was a little bit worried that with 4 books, it's going to get repetitive, and it's still possible that it might get repetitive in the next 2, but I really like how this one was like completely different, and it was still like the solving crimes aspect and the little love triangle aspect, but it was just completely different storyline, which I really enjoyed. And I like how the crime was just completely different and the way they were solving it was different, and I like how they used the other kids' powers or gifts more. Like I feel like we got to see more of Sloane's gift in this one, and Leah was utilized a bit more in this one as well, which I liked because I was expecting each book to be from a different point of view. So I was expecting the first one to be like Cassie, she's a profiler, and then we'll go on to Michael, he's a motion reader, and for the different gifts, but I guess they're all going to be in Cassie's point of view, which I don't mind because I do like her as a storyteller. I think it's interesting to see from the profiler's point of view, but I was expecting that, so I don't know where I was going with this. Oh, I was expecting that, so when we didn't get it, I was like, oh, maybe we're not going to see enough of the other people, but I do like how they were kind of more incorporated in this, and I'm hoping in the next 2 that they're going to become bigger roles as well, because we're seeing a lot of Cassie and a lot of Dean, because the first 2 books were really targeted towards them, so I'm hoping we get a little bit of backstory about Leah and Michael and Sloane in the next 2 as well. This book kept me on my toes. I feel like every time I thought something else happened that like negated what I thought it could be, so then I was like back to square one, and I really felt like I was truly solving the crime that was happening in this book. So I found that really interesting, and I really enjoyed that because I thought it was a little bit more unpredictable than the first one. As for the love triangle, I will say what happened at the end of this book, I am a little bit disappointed, and I'm not gonna say what happened. If you've read it and you know what happened, I'm a little disappointed. We'll see what happens in the next 2, but I don't know. What I will say is I was rooting for the other one. And I never said who I was rooting for before, so you won't know. But I was rooting for the other one, so. I also forgot to mention the total page count I read for the week, and so that was 1,335 pages this week, and I got through 3 books. I went through Mile High, The Naturals, and Killer Instinct. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I have to wake up super early tomorrow because I'm actually going sea kayaking, so if you want to see a video of my trip that I'm on right now, then let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.